Hey there, truck guys and gals. We're testing out, if you like trucks, you're at the right place. We're gonna be testing out today 4Season tires, or those all-terrain tires that trucks always seem to come with. I'm not sure if you can see, but in the back, that's snow in the windows. And guess who took their winter tires off just in time? We've got about almost a foot of snow outside. And here we've got the BF Goodrich KO2s, which did a fantastic job all through the winter. Now I know, yes, I knew there was a snowstorm coming. I know how to watch the news, but I did, because there were openings at the garage, I did put the 4Season or all-terrain tires back on the truck because I want to test out for all the guys and gals out there that love trucks. I want to answer the question, can you really drive in snow, and a huge amount of snow, but can you drive in snow, winter conditions, with those original truck tires that we get? Are they safe, or are you going to get into a wreck? Are we going to get into a wreck? Well, let's go out and test the Ford F-150 with those all-terrain tires. Folks, they're not 3-peak snowflake rated. So actually in my province, if we weren't past the 15th of March, these tires would actually be illegal because they're deemed completely unsafe for winter driving. Now, of course, I'm not going to take out the Toyota MR2 in the winter, and I'm definitely not going to be testing out the Porsche 911 in the winter. However, I do really want to test out, we have done a great job. Catch our videos testing out BF Goodrich KO2 tires versus some fantastic Nokians on the Ford Bronco. So we tested out the F-150 on the BF Goodrich KO2s, the Bronco on Nokian, top of the line Nokian winter tires. But now we're going to test them out. So stay tuned. Let's jump in the truck and test out those stock tires you get with your truck. Can you survive in the winter, or are governments reasonable in making those tires illegal because they've deemed them unbelievably unsafe? Well, let's go test them out. I'm Johnny. First though, before we switch over to the vehicle, I'm Johnny from Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. Please hit the thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and share this information because everyone can benefit from knowing more about tires. Thank you so much, folks. Really appreciate it. All right, we are driving at 79 kilometers an hour with these 4Season tires, the all-terrains that come with trucks. And so far, so good. We actually saw one vehicle in the ditch, and it had its winter tires on. I could tell because, well, it was on those rusty rims, the rusted out Steelies. So a Volkswagen with rusted out Steelies in the ditch. And let's see here. Now leaving the house in the neighborhood, gave it a little bit of gas, and yes, it went a little sideways. But that's partly due to the incredible torque on a Ford F-150 Lightning. And also there was about 4 inches of snow on the roads in the neighborhood. So driving at slow speeds and 4 inches, a little slippery. But I think governments are more and more banning tires that aren't rated for winter only because, well, they like blanket laws. They're forgetting the fact that an all-wheel drive or a 4x4 truck or an all-wheel drive, intelligent all-wheel drive SUV like Ford has, their intelligent all-wheel drive systems are fantastic. So, Volvo, Land Rover, also the case. So a lot of SUVs out there that have great all-wheel drive systems that won't have trouble at all using 4Seasons as winter tires year-round. Now, of course, 4Seasons are less effective if it was minus, if it was extremely, extremely cold out, but we're just below the freezing point, and these tires are fine for braking. So far, fine for accelerating. No accidents so far, obviously, otherwise I'd be filming from the ditch. The conditions are a little slippery. We're just below freezing. A lot of this is wet. We're doing just fine. Now at 112 kilometers an hour, so about 70 miles per hour. we've got no issues with the 4-season tires. So the left lane is a little less traveled today, but here I am passing the left lane, no issues. It was a little shake switching from lanes where you've got a little bit more snow and slush in between, well, the right lane, which is being used quite a bit today, and the left lane, which isn't barely getting used at all. So there was just a little bit that I noticed that wouldn't have, the winter tire would have maybe picked up and thrown out, or would have picked up that snow and thrown it out of the tire tread a little better. But so far, so good. Not sure governments need to ban, you know, these blanket laws. Here's someone else in the ditch. They didn't make it through the corner because, well, conditions are slippery. But these tires are sticking to the road. So yeah, that car back there didn't make it through the corner. Must have been going through the corner. From what I'm seeing this morning, people are going through the corners to get onto the highways, the on-ramps and off-ramps, pretty slowly. But just the same, the conditions are slippery, and that vehicle went off the road. Vehicle earlier that had all sorts of tow truck and police support, it was quite a bit in the ditch, and it was definitely on its winter tires. It had the rusted out wheels, the rusted out steelies, or rims as we sometimes call them. The rusted out winter wheels were still on the vehicle, and that Volkswagen Jetta was in the ditch. But here's the thing, a 4-season tire on a truck, and a new 4-season tire, I'm not talking about a 4-season tire that's at the end of its life and only has 3 32s left to them, or 4 32s. I'm talking about a good, solid, relatively new 4-season tire. I don't think should be illegal on all-wheel drive vehicles. I'm sure the government's happy to pick up, in my area, 15% tax on every set of winter tire set that gets sold. And those usually range between $1,000 to $2,000, so must have an average price of about $1,500. While when everyone in an entire state or province has to buy that winter kit, they're picking up a lot of money. They're 15% off those millions of dollars per year. Really, probably more like tens of millions and hundreds of millions of dollars per year spent, depending how big of an area you're looking at. Just imagine if in all the northern states in the US, you know, some 150 million people had to buy winter tires, and often people buy the extra set of wheels with that, and then the government was picking up 15% tax. Well, of course it's in their interest to not have a clause that says, you know, all vehicles need to be on winter only tires unless they're all-wheel drive, and maybe say that, you know, winter tires can't, 4-season tires can't go below 532s or 632s legally. I think that would probably be fine, because let's check out the road conditions. They're worse here. Still doing fine, still driving in the left lane, still going faster than everyone else. And you know, some might say, you can comment that I'm playing with fire, which I'm not. I'm clearly playing with snow, folks. But if you do think I'm doing something dangerous, well, the proof's in the pudding. No accident. And either way, please support the channel. Hit that like button. Please do subscribe and share this, because everyone needs to know more about winter tires. And I definitely recommend that if you are going to drive all winter long with 4 seasons, if your area gets a lot of extreme cold, way below freezing, keep in mind that the 4-season compound, the rubber, can freeze up and becomes less effective, less grippy, and less sticky and more slippery as that temperature drops. So below 15 degrees Celsius, they really start to be problematic. At minus 30 degrees Celsius, yes, they're going to be problematic, because the rubber compound is going to be frozen up. But if your winters are relatively mild, like they are here, you can see the vehicle, a little ABS going on, a little ABS controlling. Now I'm driving also in 1-pedal mode, meaning the vehicle slows down quite a bit when I let go of the accelerator, and I did while changing lanes, and still not sliding and losing control. So these tires are doing the job, folks. I hope this helps save you thousands of dollars. So let us know in the comments section, what do you use for winter tires? Go through a corner here, 60 at 60. Now I'm doing 70, 73 for this next corner. Oh my goodness, it's so dangerous. The government absolutely needs to get us to spend thousands of dollars on winter kits. Well, drop a comment and let me know. Howdy folks, so we have driven through the snowstorm. The snowstorm, as you can see, is now done. We no longer have 1 to 4 inches of snow on the ground, but this was the big question. We drove also the Bronco in the snowstorm, and these are the original Bronco tires, the OEM factory tires. So in our region, we're legally obligated to go out and buy winter tires. That's thousands of dollars when you were talking about 35-inch. And often people also buy wheels for the winter, which wheels and tires on something like this can end up costing $5,000 Canadian, or $3,000 to $4,000 American. And guess what? Can we survive on the OEM provided wheels? Yes, absolutely. As long as your region isn't getting extreme cold or a lot of ice, the OEM tires did a great job in the snowstorm. We were very happy with them. Now, the OEM tires are not legal as winter tires in some areas, like my region, causing people to spend thousands of dollars extra. And well, part of that is a 15% tax to the government. So I'm sure they're happy every year picking up several million, tens of millions of dollars in tax dollars as people change their tires. But as long as you still have a good amount of tread, I'm not saying to run on those OEM tires if you have a rear wheel or front wheel drive only, especially if they're just SUV tires. But look at the tread on this. As long as you still have a good amount of tread, you're going to be fine in the snows. Through the snowstorm, had no issues driving these OEM tires. And if we go over to the Lightning here, this is an intelligent 4x4 vehicle. So it's actually pretty darn good in the snow, even with your stock tires. Don't let your tread get down too low, and don't forget to do your 5-tire rotation on the Bronco. But the Bronco doesn't just look great, it's also great in bad conditions. Now for the Lightning, these are also we went through the snowstorm, and these are our original tires from factory. And as you can see, there's still a lot of tread on them. I wouldn't want to drive if the tread was near 432s, horrible. 532s, not so great. Honestly, if you're gonna drive 4-season tires in the winter, I wouldn't let them get anything lower than 632s. And even 632s in a snowstorm when there's a lot of snow on the road would stress me out. But what's great about truck tires is often they have more tread than SUV tires. It also depends on the brand, but there's Ford's tread after about 200 kilometers on them, just the last snowstorm. But you look over at the Bronco, and this thing can handle a whole lot of snow, because look at that tread, folks. That's a ton of tread. So why do governments that legally force winter tires not make some sort of clause where if you have an intelligent all-wheel drive vehicle, anything from 2010 and up, or you have a good old 4x4, whether they put a year clause on it because they want it to have, ABS and all that technology to help you stay on the road or not. Either way, the Bronco, the F-150, a Dodge Ram, a GMC 1500, they can definitely handle some snow. Now, like I said, if your tires are getting near the end of their lifespan, I wouldn't go through a snowstorm with them. If it's extremely cold, 4-season tires will freeze up, making them not so good in the snow and not very good at all on ice. But honestly, in our region, how often is it extremely cold and how often is it icy? Not very often. Loving the Ford Bronco, sold the F-150, and we'll tell you all about that in our next live. Catch us Sundays. Every second Sunday we do a live, sometimes a little more often.
We want to wish you all a fantastic weekend. Help support this small family business out, please, with a like, a share, and a subscribe. And to those that already subscribed, thank you so much. And to our members, thanks for keeping this small family business going. Really appreciate you all. Take care, and see you again soon. Wish you all more cars, of course, and more power. And hope you get to put the pedal to the metal on whatever rig you're currently driving. So, catch our long-term reviews on the 2050 Lightning as well as on the Bronco. We're now on the hunt for